Do I use game guides for tough bosses or challenging puzzles? Eh, if I have to. So I have kind of an interesting history with guides and puzzles. I've used a few, like I bought the Chrono Cross guide because I wanted to fully unleash my experience with the game. I felt like I couldn't do so naturally without it. But with that being said, I actually, when I started reading it, it said to put the guide down until you've played the game once. So I did. I got a bad ending, and I don't regret it. But there's some things in the game that are just not explicit, and so I think for antiquated games, it's especially kind of needed. In figuring out what you're supposed to do. Like, how can you play through Chrono Cross and not naturally be able to find the Chrono Cross on your playthrough? That's weird to me. And the other thing is, like, if I'm getting frustrated in a game, Metroid Dread, for instance, I found, fun for the most part. The only time I really consulted the guide, well, actually, it was twice. Once there's like this room, and it's like it's so unclear. It's like I think there's like a warp thing or something, and like I just could not see what it is you were supposed to do. And so I used it just to figure out, like, how was I supposed to get around that. The second was for the final boss. I had taken on the final boss maybe 5-6 times, and it like wasn't getting much easier. I was like, I know I'm missing something. There's a peripheral visual effect that is like very hard to detect what the thing is that you're supposed to do to get around it or to circumnavigate it. So I watched Leo the Funny Nerds video on Metroid Dread's final boss, and I use that as kind of a boon to me. And sometimes I feel like disappointed after I've done so, like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. That was one where I didn't, where I felt like, okay, the game was being unfair, so I needed to do something back in order to help me. A time that I felt like a strategy guide was the wrong thing to do was playing Shadowgate. When I played I haven't finished Shadowgate, but I was actually just, I was a Kickstarter backer for the reboot or something, and I was just incredibly frustrated about how I was playing. So I was like, I'm going to try some other ones in the series. I tried the original one on the NES, and like I couldn't get past the second title screen or something. So I used it to look it up, and I looked it up. I was like, I'm such a dumbass, man, for not being able to figure that out. And so from that point on, with like that kind of like point and click, I've tried to stray from relying on a strategy guide in order to assist me. But I mean, it's hit or miss. I will use it if I have to, but only if I have to. If I feel like there's something within the game kind of preventing me from figuring it out. And if I'm just losing interest and I'm getting frustrated. So that's my thoughts on game guides and tough bosses. Yeah, thanks for the question.